Anne was the first person that I ever told my full entire story to. One of my friends invited me over with some other girls to watch a movie. As I was driving there, I had to call my roommate, who was also like my best friend, and tell her that I wasn't coming back in the fall. That was really hard, so I was like crying, and the family that I was going to their house, they're also really good friends with the Wilsons, and Anne had pulled up.
I had seen her at my friend's house sitting in her truck. Were you in a truck?
Probably.
Yeah. And she had been crying, and so when she came in, I knew that she was upset.
She was asking, so Anne, when do you go back to Louisville? Which was probably like the worst question to ask me at that moment, but...
You text me, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she texted me, I can't remember. I think I was like, you want to come over?
Yeah.
I was amazed because you said, okay. She walked in the door, and then she started telling me her story and was getting emotional. And I don't know if you remember this, but she said, I'm angry with God. I'm really disappointed. I feel like he's let me down. And so I was really impressed that she told me everything. I felt so honored that she would share all of that with me.
That day, you immediately, like after everything was done, asked me, like, so do you want to pray and surrender your life to Jesus?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Then that week, we met like 3 more times.
Yeah.
And each time, you asked me to pray out loud and then to ask me if I was ready to surrender my life to Jesus. And I didn't do it until like, I think it was a week after meeting with her. And I remember where I was in my house, and it sounds so cliche, but I literally just like got down on my knees and was just like, God, I can't do this anymore on my own. Like, I need you. It was like a backpack was like lifted like off of me, and it was the greatest feeling ever. And I just remember texting you, just feeling free and like hopeful for the first time in so long.
For me, when I received that text, I was like jumping up and down. I was so happy.
I knew, like, I'm not going back to Louisville. I don't have that part of my life anymore. But it was realizing that just is a part of my life. It's not my whole life.
And I think it's that she had somebody to carry the burden with her.
Growing up, I kept everything bottled up inside of me, and that is like a major cause of depression. And so having someone to talk to that I trusted and that I felt like, and that I knew wanted the best for me, it was the greatest thing ever.
I think I asked you, like, do you ever share how you feel with other people? So do you remember, like, we worked on that, like, of just
Really
telling
pathetic,
somebody
kind of,
what she feels and being serious and letting them see that side of her. You were really afraid to let people see that other side of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's not just the spiritual stuff. It's kind of like we're friends in every area,
I literally can tell her anything. Even since then, I've had struggles in my life, and she's one of the first people, if not the first person I turned to. I guess what surprised me is that she had struggles of her own too. And so that kind of helped me realize you don't have to be afraid to open up to people. That was definitely something that was like real about you, that you were willing to kind of reciprocate my honesty.
Every time I have shared it, I feel free. Like there's a little piece of healing that takes place every time I'm sharing it. It's like bringing out into the light sets me free from it. I know that sounds bizarre and weird, but every time, and that's why I really encourage Angela, like, share your story, because not only will it set somebody else possibly free and give them hope, but it could set you even more free. I think we hide things and we're so afraid, and yet it almost festers when we hide it. It's almost like a cancer or a poison in our system. I asked Angela, like, hey, we're doing these baptisms. How long was this after you had surrendered your life?
It was a month after.
1 month, like, hey, we're doing these baptisms, and I don't know if you'd, be interested, but, you could share your story. She's like, I'm doing it. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is a month out. And before she was so like, I'm not sharing this with anybody. And now she's going to share it with like hundreds of people.
That was probably one of the best things I could have done because it just kind of like put it out there. That was one of the best days of my life for sure.
And that's so amazing because you would have never thought that would be one of your best days of your life, that you shared that and people received you and loved you.
Yeah.
That was one of my best days too. That was amazing.